chub fishing for me, they were one of the first fish I ever caught on the fly, and they're just such an obliging species to go after. You can catch them in the summer on dry flies, big foam beetles or little tiny emergers and things like that. They'll take nymphs, they'll take streamers especially. They're a load of fun on streamers, and they're so aggressive when they take a streamer. The takes that you get from a chub on a streamer are just awesome. They almost rip the rod out your hand sometimes, especially if you're fishing downstream. I like this kind of an active streamer fishing for chub. You know where they're going to be. You find the little areas, the little hidey holes where the chub are, and 9 times out of 10, if they're there and they're hungry, you'll get them on the first cast. They'll hear the plop and they'll come dashing out and grab the fly. And yeah, I think they're a beautiful species. I think they're as good looking as any trout, and they've got the perfect amount of fight in them. You know, you're not chasing them all up and down the river. They're just a wicked fun fish to catch. So I have been fishing for chub using the fly line, fishing for them with streamers, but I had some issues, especially around fishing in urban areas where the back casting space isn't there, or you're fishing in bushes and things like that. So I thought, well, the way to go about it might be to try with a French leader, or just straight mono to a fluorocarbon trace and then to the fly, and a heavily weighted fly. And I wanted to imitate the little creature baits people have been catching, perch and chub and pike on. And one of the key things about those is that they're heavy, and I've been tying flies on a little Ned head, so with some buoyancy in them, so that they can sit up on the bottom and hop them along the bottom. Casting those with a fly line and keeping them in the strike zone, trying to compete against drag from the water and all that kind of stuff, it's just so tricky. Whereas if you're fishing with the French leader and you've just got that mono, the drag's a lot less, you can get the fly down into the depths, and also you can cast with no back casting space. You can cast it if you're standing in a tree, you can flick it under bushes and things like that, stuff you could never do with the fly line. It's kind of like a cross between, or it sits somewhere between lure fishing and fly fishing. It's definitely not proper fly fishing. You're not casting a fly line. All the weight comes from the fly, tied on the jig head. Or sometimes I'll tie a fly with no weight and then have it on a Chub weight, and then you can bounce it along the bottom, or fish it like a regular streamer, swing it across the current. It just opens up a load more spots and gives you a lot more control over where the fly is in the water.